that don't start on time.
Praise the Lord.
I believe you was come to church on time.
Say it.
For some chicken wings.
What the fuck?
I believe you was come to church on time. For some chicken wings. Listen to this. CB time.
This shit racist.
Ought to be a crime.
What the fuck?
But the night
This shit racist as hell.
right on time.
Oh, wait a minute.
Somebody
Is
must
this
have
a
told y'all
brother singing
pastor
this?
was serving
Or a sister?
some chicken wings. Let me say this to you. Choir rehearsal
I'm about to turn this off.
will start on time if they serve chicken wings. I know I'm right. Bible study and prayer meeting would be packed if they serve chicken wings. Let me tell it. Stand up right.
Yeah.
And the deacon would fall on his knees and pray all night if they serve.
I don't know about all that, but you got a point.
Some chicken wings. Chicken wings. Chicken wings.
Okay. Now you're probably wondering if I'm trying to explain to you all African American stereotypes. Why am I playing this song? Yeah, I know it makes no sense to a lot of people. However, if you listen to the song carefully, it's obviously one thing you're gonna notice is obvious. It's sung by a black person. I believe it's a woman, from what I was told. I don't know. You be the judge. But I have no idea who made this song. I happened to get this through an email, and I was like, damn, I might as well make a video using this, you know. But a lot of us will look at this and say this is a damn shame, you know, because to us the chicken stereotype is something that is over exaggerated, but for whatever reason, it still looks bad. People make it look bad. Do we African Americans like chicken? Yes. You go to a African American event, you know, nothing classy, but something like a work or office party or something like that. You'll find chicken. You might go to somebody's house. You unless they cook on it, unless the family cooked on their own, they'll buy chicken. It's not because we're addicted to chicken. It's not because we are just so in love with it, but it's cheap and practical. It's easy to cook and it's cheap to buy. You can go to the store down the street and get about 100 pieces for $29.99, and it's some good chicken. Okay, I mean, we ain't talking something that's cheaply made. This is a good chicken here. People take it out of proportion though, man. It's like there's some truth to every stereotype, some truth, but of course they blow it out of proportion. I mean, I'll put some links on the side here, on over here on this side. Hopefully they come out as links. I'm not sure exactly how to make them, but I believe that you can just copy and paste it on and Google it or look it up. I'm not going to type racial stereotypes or black stereotypes, and these cartoons will come up, and it will kind of show you. For a lot of people who are not familiar with African American stereotypes or black stereotypes, some of what we it will show you the reason for why we feel the way we feel when we see ads like the KFC ad. And you'll see things that are blown out of proportion. And I mean it'll be obvious. So I mean to get you to also understand America. America's about race, man. It's about race. Ethnicity and race dominate the discussion a lot of times amongst America, and a lot of times it dominates the media. Everything has to be about race. I looked at the TV today, and it was about the county board president race, and of course it's ran by a black man. The county is ran by a black man right now, who a lot of people, black and white, do not want in office. But Somehow they ran into a group who just so happens to bring race into the picture. And if you just look at it, I mean, it just looks ridiculous, their arguments. But for whatever reason, the media latches onto it and they broadcast it across Chicagoland. And it's kind of like, for what? I mean, this is childish, elementary stuff. Why are you doing it? But they know it sells. Sex sells, race sells, and that's how America is, and we know that as Americans. So as African Americans, we always feel the blunt of it. Yeah, there's racial stereotypes all over the world. A lot of people are like, well, we have stereotypes for this group, there's stereotypes for that group, there's stereotypes for us. We all laugh. For African Americans, we laugh. Like a lot of us, when I got this email at work with the chicken wing song, we all laughed. But at the same time, it's still hurtful to us, because we know we get the short end of the stick a lot of times when it comes to racial jokes and racial stereotypes. There's a stereotype about Irishmen. All Irishmen, I haven't met a Irishman that don't drink. Okay, there's a lot of Irishmen, Germans who who drink a lot. They're not necessarily alcoholics, but they drink. But for whatever reason, it doesn't get blown out of proportion. African Americans, we drink malt liquor. There's a lot of African Americans who drink malt liquor. There's really nothing wrong with drinking malt liquor, but the image that a lot of people have, the perception of a person who has malt liquor, especially if it's in a paper bag and they on the corner drinking it, it blows people's mind. They don't like to see it. And as African Americans, we don't like to be represented in a bad light, especially in the media, especially if it's in another country. And granted, a lot of people will say those weren't even African Americans. Those were West India. I believe Trinidad is. We don't see it that way. In America, African Americans have a tendency of seeing all black people as the same, because that's how it is in America. No matter where you're from, if you're from Haiti, if you're from Jamaica, if you're from Brazil, if you're black, you're black. You're African American. Even though culturally you're different, you're black. So that's kind of how we see it, because the way society sees it, that's how African Americans see it. So if we see, no matter where they're from, whether they're from Jamaica or they're from Papua New Guinea, if they look black and they fit this, the physical makeup of the stereotype, which the people, of what the people look like, then we're going to get mad. Simple as that. They look black, it don't matter. And that's how a lot of us see it. Now, I understand from a lot of Australians' perspective that, they might not see things that way. This is just a commercial. Get over it. It's not even African Americans. It's West Indians. It's not even white Americans. It's Australians. And yeah, this is a KFC company. KFC is an American company, but it's an Australian branch. But KFC is still a U.S. company. They still have an image to uphold, even in Australia. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of American consultants in Australia. They just knew that this commercial would fly in Australia, and it might fly in a lot of other countries. But I still think they should have been a little responsible, and they should have understood that this was going to get on the internet. This was the World Wide Web, for goodness sake. People were going to see it, and they were going to show it across the world. And maybe this is the reaction they're looking for. I don't know, but I kind of ran off track, and I'm about to run out of time here. But to sum things up, what we are afraid of the most when we see this commercial is that, especially since it's displayed in Australia, that this racial stereotype that is attributed to African Americans are spread throughout the world. And now when the world sees us, they think of, we love chicken, we love watermelon, we love to dance and shuckle and jive. And that's kind of what we're scared of. My time is running out, so hopefully you get something out of this. Peace. I'm gone.